Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and today I am going to show you 3 tangles that can be used simply in making dingbats, Zentangle Dingbatz. And we are starting a project tomorrow where we are going to be working on some envelopes, and so I thought today I would introduce you to these 3 very simple patterns. I think some of you may know them. Some of you may not, so let me show you what they are. The first one is called Oibe, and it is by CZT Antonin Koval. She is wonderful with the patterns, and this is a good one. I actually am very, very fond of this pattern. So, Oibe, let's see if I can see. There we go, that's better. Oibe starts with some large-ish, because that is relative when you're talking about Zentangle. Some large waves, and just go up and down, try to keep them, you know, consistent-ish. Then you're going to make an echo line of this, and you can start at the bottom and come up. That's probably better for me, or you can start at the top and move down. I just have more control moving up, but I am opposite of most people, so you choose how you would like to do that, okay? Now, you're going to continue the echo lines, trying to keep your bottom as straight as you can. Don't sweat it though. If it's not, it'll just be something new, won't it? And you're going to keep doing this until you have just a small area, small area left, and then you're going to put a little orb and tuck it right in there. Okay, and I think she named this maybe Oibe because it's kind of, I don't know, kind of oystery looking. Maybe that's just me. maybe I'm just, I don't know, entertaining my brain with that. Now, ways that you can embellish this, of course, you could make or change it up. You could make the orb bigger, which I like. Like that. You can make these thin and have lots of them. Well, some of you will have the thin and lots of them, and some of us will have a mess. Anyway, that's sort of what I meant. When you get down as small as you want to go, just tuck your orb in there on the corner. Oops. Got my pen going out on its own again today. Now, the very final step on this is to just fill in with straight lines and then make auras, or do parallel lines out. Clearly I've got my wiggle on today, and that's fine. There. Doesn't that look cool? You can also start up here and go down. Whatever works for you. Clearly this part is not something I'm good at. That's all right though. I'm getting better-ish. I'm pretending to be better at it. But I don't need perfectly straight lines to be happy in life. I just need them to be sort of straight. Or consistently wiggly. How about that? And whether my lines are wiggly or not, this still has the same effect. Now, shading on this is pretty fun and easy. Oh, I forgot one thing. Antonin in her step out has added line weight to the tops of these, like this. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it definitely sort of gives you a finished off look. Sort of like that. And then she does that all the way down to the orb. Yeah, and see what a difference that makes? It makes a huge difference. You can also do some of that here. Again, this is not my best thing, but you can definitely add some line weight and rounding down here as well. Just depends on how free and easy you want to be with it, and it's entirely up to you, but I do love it with the line weight and the rounding on it. So, you know, make yourself happy. Okay, back to the shading. For me, and again, I am not good at shading and I am not giving advice. I am just simply telling you what I'm going to do, and then it's up to you to decide where you go from there. All right. Again, if you really want to learn shading from someone who knows what they're talking about, get Annie Oken's book, Shading Fearlessly. Or even better, join Art Club and get all of her lessons for one small price every month. I have been in Art Club for going on 2 years now. I have never ever regretted not one single penny. Not once. And how often do you give money to things that you feel that way about? Probably not often, because I know it's not for me. Now, my tortillon is still missing in action. We're not going to talk about it today. Well, we got our big friend here, and he's going to make it happen. Now, you also might like to shade all along here and put graphite in this whole area going along, or you can decide to put it, as I've done, just on one side. Make sure you take your time, blend it out. I may have gotten a little too much here, because we don't need much. But you can see there's lots of things you can do. And if you want to, you can embellish in here or whatever makes you happy. So let your creativity guide you on this. And you can see, if you do these in the small, these will make really pretty borders, like on an envelope or across the flap or something like that. So this is Oibe by Antonin Koval. And that is #1 for today. Now, let's do #2 over here. Our second tangle today is called Henna Drum, and a lot of you probably already know this, but I'm going to walk you through it, and you will know, of course, that this is the perfect ornamentation for edges or sides of things. So in the step out, It starts with a large spiral. And then the next one he draws a sort of, and I don't know if this was his drawing or Antonin's, but sort of out and up like that. And I'm going to just leave mine sort of opposite like this. Now for the fun part, the flower part. This tangle is something that tattoo artists use a lot for decorations. So you start with a little partial circle, just like you would if you were doing the tangled crescent moon. And just as in crescent moon, when you're finished, you want to put an aura around that. Okay? And this is a very forgiving pattern, so if your auras are wiggly like mine or whatever happens, keep going. Okay? Now I usually, and this is me, this is not how you must do it, but I usually start in the middle and put in my first petal there. And this is how the step out is. Now when I draw this, I do it a little bit differently, and I'll show you how I do it here in a second. But this, whoops, that was not very good. Now I'm sure that there are better ways. Whoa, that's okay. But oh goodness, you guys get the idea I'm going for here, though. Yeah, I said it was forgiving. I'm about to find out how forgiving it is. All right. So then you can put in your little flower hatch marks here. Okay, and then you can take little curly cues out here, dress it up, add your tendrils wherever, right? Okay, that's how, except for the snafu in here, that's how the step out has it. Now here's how I approach it myself. I start the exact same way, little half circle, aura around it, and then I round out the petals just a little bit. Now that's just me, and you can do this again as you like. And then I add my little cute things. Yeah. So you really can approach these however you want, and they are so pretty. And I have for a long time been playing with the tops of mine because I'm even though the zigzaggy edge is cool and I don't mind it, but I do love to play with the tops of these. Like that, yeah. Or let's see, put little heart-shaped petals. But that's how I usually handle mine. I love to play with this pattern because there really are lots of different ways that you can incorporate it. You know, you can add little orbs between, you can blacken your little triangles. You know, you can do really whatever you like, and there are lots of different ways to handle this. You can give the leaves a little fangle action. Talking about the tangle fangle. You can black these in, or use color, as you will. So anyway, there are some different ideas, but this is the way the traditional step out is done, and you may do as you wish. You can see how these would be really pretty along the border of something or on an envelope or as a decoration. Okay, that is our second tangle, Henna Drum by Jane McCougler, CZT. And our third one is one that we sort of played kind of around with on our meditation on Monday, which is Antidots, and that is done. I will show you the step out first. They teach you to go counterclockwise first, then come back clockwise like this. Zoom in a little bit. And then the step out has you drawing a line around it. Okay? And then you can branch this out, except I tend to do it in the opposite order, but that's all right. And then you just bunch it. Okay? Now, I'll be honest, this method is a little awkward for me. And so, I'm really not excited about that. I mean, it'll work and I can make it work. But I think I would rather draw the outer part first, and then put that inside that. I don't know. Let's see. I just feel like the outer, doing it from inside out, makes that outer one look not like it's a whole piece with the others. But if we draw it inside, we can sort of tailor it to the space. Oops. So I probably, and I'm not saying I won't change it up because you guys know how I am, but I probably will do outside to inside on this. Doesn't really matter. Okay? But once you have the outside, then you can adjust the inside to fit. Okay? And so this tangle just keeps moving. Oops. And if you get it too big on the outside, or too big inside to do another aura, then you can do one on the inside. It'll all work out. Another way to do this would be to, oops. So you could handle it like that if you wanted to as well. So that is Antidots. Now this grows organically, sort of like we did in our meditation on Monday. This grows organically. There I go, switching things up. So you can put it maybe that won't work. Let's see. And you can just grow it organically. in this fashion. Yeah, and just keep growing it. You can put clumps out. You know, you can make it as big and bushy or as thin and slender as you like. Didn't quite leave enough room there, so I'm going to do that on the inside. So this is Antidots. It's lots of fun. You can embellish that as well, like I did in the meditation with little orbs. So those are the 3 tangles that we are going to be using on Wednesday for our Dingbatz. Now, so on Wednesday, you can of course use any tangles that you feel are appropriate for our project, but these 3 I'll be using in our examples in case you want to already be familiar with those. All right, guys, those are our 3 tangles for this week. I'm going to see you tomorrow for some dynamic Dingbatz, and I hope you guys have a great day.